Hey, what's up, sports bettors? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and in this video, I'm going to give you my survivor picks for week 2. So for week 1, I gave out my survivor pick. I officially went with the Ravens. I had 2 backup picks, the 49ers and the Colts, so I'm very, very lucky I went with the Ravens and not my backup pick. But overall, things are going pretty well with my NFL bets. Obviously, I hit my survivor pick. My 4 sharp bets went 3-1, total profit of 170. Underdog didn't do so hot. I went 2-1 with my underdog picks, but my picks against the spread, profitable, went 9-7. So everything is going pretty well. In terms of the podcast bets from Sweat the Bet, me and my co-host overall went 5-1. So if you do want to get in on the podcast, would appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. It's on any podcast platform. Sweat the Bet comes out once a week, previewing NFL Week 2 best bets. Like I said, we went 5-1 in Week 1, hoping to continue that in Week 2. But specifically for this video, I'm going to be giving out my survivor picks, my survivor betting strategy. I'll give out my 1 pick, which is what I'll officially go with, and then I'll give some honorable mentions as well. Hopefully those 2 don't lose. So for Survivor, I did break my rule in week 1, but my general strategy is there's 2. I try to choose a team that's at home. I won't force it. I won't just totally ignore the away teams if I really, really like one. Like last week, I really liked the Ravens. They came through for me. But I try to choose a team at home, and I don't try to save teams until later in the year. So I know that's one strategy that people have is if you save a team. I personally don't see that. I just think it makes more sense to just choose who you think is going to win and not care if you're choosing the best team or not. Because if you choose a team that you're not super confident in because you're saving a team like the Bills, a team like the Chiefs, and you lose, well, guess what? You save them for literally nothing. So that's my general strategy, but I do like to start off looking at all the home teams and seeing what kind of bets we have. And of course, what's really nice is using OddsJam, the line shopping tool. You go to oddsjam.com, sports, NFL. This is completely free. It gives you the best moneyline odds for every single game. So basically what I can do is I can look at who the biggest favorites are, because in this case, the nice thing is the odds don't matter, right? You're just picking a team to win straight up. I guess I should mention that part. Survivor League, you're just picking a team to win straight up. It doesn't matter how they win, doesn't matter how much they win by. They just need to win. So looking at the odds all on one screen is incredibly helpful because you can see, all right, who are the biggest favorites? So I know right off the bat, the Bengals are big favorites, but they're away. The Rams are big favorites at home, which I like. The 49ers are big favorites, and I think they're at home as well, playing the Seahawks team that just won. The Broncos are big favorites, and they are also at home. So a lot of good options here. So in this case, for this one, I won't need to force a team that's away. I think between the Rams, the 49ers, and the Broncos, you have 3 solid home teams. For me, in my official pick, I'm going to go with the Rams. Generally, it can be scary to back a team this early coming off of just a horrendous week 1. But I think that there is enough championship pedigree. There's enough reasons to be comfortable in the Rams winning this one against the Falcons. Now, obviously, there is the concern over Matt Stafford's elbow. He looked fine targeting Cooper Kupp, but some passes just sailed on him, especially that one interception. Looked really bad. But going from the Bills to the Falcons is basically like going from Alabama to Middle Tennessee State. The talent level difference from the Bills to the Falcons cannot be overstated. Also, with that in mind, teams that are coming off of Thursday Night Football cover at a higher rate than normal because they have the extra rest, right? Makes sense. Obviously, you have a couple days extra rest. Makes complete sense. All in all, a lot of reasons to back the Rams in this one. I will say the Falcons, every year I have 1 to 3 bet against coaches of the year. 2 years ago, the honors fell to Bill O'Brien and Adam Gase and Matt Patricia. Last year was Urban Meyer and Joe Judge. This year, I am firmly putting Arthur Smith for the Falcons in that list. There might be more. Matt Rule is a close one, but Cliff Kingsbury is another one that I'm considering. But Arthur Smith is an absolute bet against coach. I don't necessarily mind if people are snotty with the media, like Bill Belichick can get away with it. But Arthur Smith just comes across as someone that's in over his head. Adam Gase was snotty with the media. Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien, all these people were snotty with the media. They had no idea what they were doing. They're trying to use the media as a way to motivate their team, or they were just pissed off because they stink and they just couldn't. They didn't have the mental fortitude to get over that in a press conference. So the Falcons, I think, are ripe to bet against all year. In this case, we just need the Rams to win straight up. So I will go with the 49ers and the Broncos as my my backup picks. 49ers in the Broncos. The 49ers one, I'm still a little bit nervous about Trey Lance. While I think that Seattle is just ready for a letdown after last week's win against the Denver Broncos. Really emotional win. Clearly their whole team was into it. They put a lot of emphasis in that game. This has letdown game just screaming all over it. So I think the Seahawks are ripe to fade. And specifically in week 2, we'll see how Geno Smith looks moving forward. He was great in the first half. He was not so great in the second half. The 49ers, coming off a pretty rough loss to the Bears, obviously are going to come in motivated to not start 0-2, but Trey Lance might just stink. And when your quarterback's that bad, you can lose to anybody. So that's why, while I like the 49ers, obviously as a backup pick, they make me nervous. Luckily, they were a backup pick last week that I didn't end up going with and they lost. On the Broncos side, again, kind of an opposite logic for the Seahawks. I think I think it was tough for Russ to go back to Seattle, play them in his first game in Denver. I think there was a lot of growing pains that the offense needed to kind of go through because it's a brand new offense, brand new quarterback, brand new head coach. And really, they fumbled twice at the literal 1 yard line. That is an outlier. That obviously is not going to happen time over time. And on the Texans side, I really just dislike a coach that is playing not to lose. Lovie Smith admitted that he punted at the opponent's 50-yard line on a 4th and 1 because he would rather tie than lose and not play for the win, which I think is just soft. I think your players don't like that. I think that's going to come back to bite him because I think if your players know that you're coaching to not lose as opposed to coaching to win, they're not going to respond well to that. And the Texans, they're just severely out-talented. Even in the game that they probably should have won against the Colts, they still got kind of lucky with the Colts dropping a touchdown, the Colts missed field goals, stuff like that. So all in all, I do like the 49ers and the Broncos to win straight up, but I decided to pick the Rams as my official underdog pick. So we are going with the Rams. Obviously, I can't say whether they won or lost yet because the game hasn't happened, but that is going to be my official Survivor pick. So if you are tailing that, let me know. I would love to hear it. Make sure to subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel to get all my picks against the spread, my underdog picks, my 4 sharp bets. Of course, subscribe to the OddsJam podcast, Sweat the Bet, to get all of mine and Parlay Docs best bets as well. And then, of course, if you just want to check out the NFL odds for completely free, it's really, really cool. It takes 2 seconds. It doesn't make any sense to bet the Chiefs, minus 190 when you can get them at minus 162 on Fox Bet, right? It doesn't make any sense. Minus 200 versus minus 162. You're literally saving $38 per $100 bet just from line shopping. It takes 2 seconds. So definitely make sure to check that out. But that's it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you are tailing with me on the Rams, good luck.